Hello and welcome to the Album Man, and today I'm going to be doing weekly rock news for the date 5th of May 2013. So got quite a few stories to talk about, but of course let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. I don't mean out of the way in a disrespectful way, it's just, I don't like to dwell on particularly sad things on here. But I can't not mention it, obviously. This, of course, is the news, as I'm sure you all know, that the Slayer guitarist Jeff Hanneman died the other day, only at age 49 of liver failure, and as a result he's been struggling with health issues since his near-fatal spider bite in 2011. One of the founding members of Slayer, along with Kerry King and the others, and one of the most influential thrash metal bands, part of the Big Four, and their album Rain in Blood, particularly my favourite Slayer album, really the only one I know, to be honest. I'm not a giant Slayer fan, but I do like Rain in Blood a lot. And very sad news. What else can I say? So, rest in peace, Jeff Hanneman, and my thoughts very much go out to his family and friends, and, Okay, so let's move on to a lighter note, and this is, we've got quite a few little stories, nothing particularly big, so let's start with this then. So basically Black Sabbath, or Ozzy Osbourne in fact, has been saying more about the Bill Ward situation. So if you're not aware, if you've been living under a cave for the past year as a Black Sabbath fan, or if you're not a Black Sabbath fan, then you might not know. But anyway, Bill Ward, the original drummer of Black Sabbath, has not been taking part in the reunion or the new album 13, due to come out on June 10th. And this is because, of a contractual dispute, allegedly. But Ozzy has shined some more light on the situation, which is quite interesting. He says that, obviously it was partly to do with the contract he was offered that he didn't want to sign, but also says that, I'll quote him, says there was also another side to it. When Bill came along, we all had to ask, can he do an hour and a half, 2-hour gig? Can he cope? My suggestion was that we run through a set and see how he got on. He was so out of condition, and also it goes on to say that Bill couldn't remember what the fuck we were doing. Them yellow stick-on memo notes, he had them all over his fucking drums. I was like, what the fuck's that for, Bill? He said, I can't remember what I'm doing. So, it's quite interesting. Maybe there was more to Bill Ward leaving than, we first knew. It's quite interesting. Obviously, I haven't heard Bill Ward's response to this. But yeah, if he couldn't play, then maybe it's for the best, to be honest, that he didn't rejoin them, because, nothing would have disappointed Sabbath fans more than if they were playing, if he was playing, crap at the live shows, to be honest. And he says that, Ward really should have discussed the matter with his, with the band more, and just, come clean about it, so that maybe they could have had another drummer backing him up, or he could have played, just a few songs or something. But instead, of course, he's out of the fold. But by what I've heard of Brad Wilkes drumming on 13 and the live shows they've played, you know what? It still sounds damn good to me. I think Brad Wilkes is a great drummer, and I can't sound too sad. I never have thought of Bill Ward as one of the key members of Black Sabbath. In my opinion, the key members, all you really need for Black Sabbath, Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler, and I'm happy, to be honest. Not that, obviously the vocals can make a difference, Ian Gillan, but in general, I'd say it's those two are the key members. Anyway, let's move on to some Foreigner news, where Foreigner built our hopes up and then dashed them and then really left them in purgatory. So firstly, we got earlier this week that Lou Gramm is hoping to reunite with Mick Jones to give their Foreigner partnership a nice, happy ending. So Lou Gramm quit for the third and final time in '97 after he felt that Jones was pressuring him to carry on when he was too ill. He was suffering from a brain tumour. And yeah, so, he was way too ill to play, and left, obviously, as I said, for a third time. So no stranger to leaving the band, no, not whatsoever. But yeah, so haven't reunited since, and they are going to reunite at the, I don't know, some songwriter festival or something. But yeah, said that he would like to play again with him. But then he came out later in the week and dashed that and said that they're going to be playing together and rehearsing for this thing they're being inducted into. But after that, they really have no plans whatsoever to tour together. But he also seemed to hint that they'll see how it goes, because they're going to be obviously talking and stuff, and might go for dinner or something. So if they manage to rekindle that friendship, it seems it could be on the cards, and I think it sounds quite likely. A bit like the way the Status Quo reunion happened. You didn't think it was going to, but they really just got together, jammed a bit, and decided to, reunite the Frantic Four. So, yes, I think it could well happen, which would be pretty cool. Okay, so the next piece of news I have is that, Metallica have been saying that they aren't going to be releasing a new album until about 2015, because, they are slow as hell. They seem to be focusing on this stupid 3D movie, which I can't quite say I really know what it's all about, but I think it's called Through the Never or something. I have a look. Yeah, 3D movie called Through the Never. I think it's just a concert that they've been working on. So yeah, and as it takes them so bloody long to make a record, it might not come out for 2015. And it's just like, really, I doubt it's going to be that amazing. That it's going to be worth, Death Magnetic was 2008, a 7-year wait. Yeah, I have a feeling it's not going to be quite that good that it's going to be worth 7 years. I wish they'd just, release albums at least every 3-4 years. 7 years, a bit taking the piss. Yeah, I suppose I'm looking forward to it, because I did enjoy Death Magnetic. In fact, The Day That Never Comes and Welcome to My Nightmare are actually two of my favourite Metallica songs. I love those. And I thought it was a really strong album. I enjoyed it quite a bit, and probably will get around to reviewing it eventually. But, yeah, I suppose I'll look forward to it. But, after Lulu... Well, I suppose they put out Lulu in 2011, but I tend to not count that, as I'm sure everyone else does. Okay, so let us move on to, we'll talk about, I suppose, a bit more about Queensryche. Who doesn't like to talk about Queensryche at the moment? And this is Todd LaTorre, the current singer of the real Queensryche, I suppose, as opposed to Jeff's Reich, has been saying that, Jeff Tate's Frequency Unknown was a low blow, but it was low below the belt, especially with its childish name of FU, and says, he, as a quote, says, a monkey can decipher what that is. It's below the belt. To me, it's not what Queensryche was about. Queensryche wasn't about cheap shots. It was always more respectful and intelligent than that. And he also went on to say, when I first heard Frequency Unknown, I thought, that's kind of cool. But then I saw the fist of FU and was like, really? That's not good for the brand. It's immature, it's angry, it's stupid. I couldn't agree more with the stupid FU. I think everyone understands it. It was so bloody obtuse. And Frequency Unknown, I'm not going to be offering my opinion quite yet, because I'm going to be doing a full review in the next few days, or possibly even today when this is, I don't know when this is going to be uploaded, but yeah, it should be on Monday. So sometime soon it should be appearing. And yeah, as I've said before, I'm not a fan of the album. Let's get that straight. Okay, yet another piece of news. This is the penultimate piece of news. Steve Adler has gone back into rehab. This is a shame. He's been trumpeting, with Back from the Dead, which is a fantastic album from Adler. If you haven't checked that out, you GNR fan, check it out. Back from the Dead, fantastic album. I love it quite a lot. Yeah, and he seemed to be sober, seemed to have got over, seemed to, but now he's back in rehab for sobriety, and it's just like, it's just a shame. They've had to postpone the European tour, and I really hope that he'd started a new chapter in his career, and, I hope he gets over it very soon. Okay, and lastly, we have my absolute favourite news story of the week. I posted this on my Facebook page, and if you don't follow me on Facebook, you should, if you want to. Facebook link is always in the description below. And this is just wonderful. So, there's a woman who's 71 years old and a husband 81 years old. And they started bombarding the house next door with repeated plays of Iron Maiden's Afraid to Shoot Strangers, sometimes keeping it going until 4 a.m. So why did they do this? Well, the woman said they felt forced to act after a whistling noise kept them awake, and she'd had to take sleeping pills to help ignore it. So they decided to be bitter and give them a taste of their own medicine. So this neighbour had to endure this assault of Afraid to Shoot Strangers up to 4 a.m. throughout most of last winter, and that the harassment had just carried on just completely, and police found the elderly couple had placed a music system on their balcony with speakers directed to the next terraced house, and they found a second system in the basement also pointed next door, and they faced charges of harassment. Just well bloody done. That is just amazing. Yeah, someone annoys you, you just shoot bloody Iron Maiden at them. That's fantastic. That couple, just wonderful. I hope their charges aren't too much, because quite honestly, just they're complete badasses. And yeah, so this is going to end my weekly rock news, and you might say, oh, what happened to albums I've been listening to recently? Well, quite frankly, all of the albums I've been listening to recently are going to appear on CDs I bought recently later this week. So wait till then and I'll give you my opinions on that and such. This has been the Album Man. Thanks for watching, and for this week's appropriately, long live thrash metal. Oops. Turn it off. Oh my god.